I'm Min and I'm not a plantaholic at all. I go to nurseries and I just look at the plants. I choose when I buy the plant or when I don't have the plant. I am in full control of myself. Plants do not control me. What was that? How many plants I have? Not many, just a few, over 150. Hi friends, if you're new to the channel, I'm Min and welcome to Plant Nation. And today guys, I've got some juicy plant bargains to share with you guys today. So I purchased these plants just before Melbourne went into lockdown. I went to a place called Bunnings, which is the Australian equivalent of Lowe's or big box store. And the first plant I purchased was for $1. It's this one here. It's called an Exosoma. I'll pop it down in the description area. Limezinger, and the leaves are gorgeous. It has these arrowhead shaped leaves and there has some veining on the leaves, and it's like a neon green color. And I know a lot of, well, I've only got one leaf left. All the three other leaves have died off, and that's how I purchased it. But I think for $1, it's such a good deal. And originally it was $13.98. And this plant here is similar to an alocasia. So it has the same care as an alocasia. So it likes to be an area that has a lot of high humidity, medium to bright indirect sunlight, and also likes its soil to be kept moist but never soggy. And I think for $1, it's such a great deal. Even if I only have one leaf, it's just something I could not resist buying this plant. And I also purchased this plant here, which is a string of dolphins. I love stringer plants, whether it's string of hearts, string of beans, a string of pearls, and it comes in a hanging basket. And I tend to not pop my plants on a hanging basket. I just don't have any hooks around the house. So I'm going to just pop it in a cover pot and just take these hooks off. And this plant here was originally $13.83 and I paid $4 for it, but it's so full. And look at this, it's just trailing. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it's called a string of dolphins because if you can see the actual leaves, they look like dolphins. And it's a type of succulent, so it doesn't need a lot of water. It only needs water when the soil is completely dry, and it does like a lot of light. So a lot of bright indirect sunlight. It can survive outside as well. I just don't tend to put it in an area where it receives too much afternoon sunlight because that can actually damage the leaves, I find. And so I just pop it more in the area that has bright indirect sunlight in the household, or an area where if it's outside, more on the eastern side, so it only receives more of the morning light, and in the afternoon it's actually shaded. The next plant I also purchased from Bunnings, which mind you, I'm not sponsored by Bunnings. I completely and paid for all these plants. And this one here is called a Noding Violet, or it's called a Streptocarpus, and it has these fuzzy leaves, which are actually quite great to actually feel. It has a great texture, and it's also a type of succulent. And so once again, it doesn't need a lot of watering, just watering when it's completely dry. And it does bloom these gorgeous purple flowers. This one here is finished blooming, so you can see all these stalky brown stems here where the flowers used to be. So later on I'll just trim it up and it'll look even better. It has a little bit of damage to some of the leaves, like that's been damaged by too much direct sunlight, and that's because this plant I popped it outside, but I'm going to probably move it inside and pop it in the area that receives a lot of bright indirect sunlight. And this plant was $14.98 and I paid $3. It's got it here. I paid $3 for this plant and it's so full. When I purchased it, it did have a few flowers, but now all the flowers have gone. The next plant I purchased, and I did pay full price for it, but I think it's a good deal because the pot is huge and it's so full and it's completely blooming. So it's this one here. It's very heavy. Oh my goodness. Can you see that, guys? It's got so many flowers. This is a Kalanchoe freedom bells, and it's called that because the flowers look like little bells, and it's completely full and it's completely blooming. The actual leaves are more rounded in shape, and once again, it's a succulent, so it doesn't need a lot of watering, only watering when required, when the soil is completely dry, and also it needs a lot of bright light, well, bright indirect light for it to bloom, and also for it to thrive in the household. And I paid $21.98, and that pot is a 30 centimeter pot, or otherwise equivalent to about 12 inches in America. And I think it's such a good bargain. I don't know what you guys think, but I myself think it's such a good bargain, because I've seen Kalanchoe in Australia in a tiny little 4-inch pot for about $5 and with no flowers. And this one here is completely full with complete blooming all over the plant, and it's extremely healthy for $21.98. I also went to Coles, which is a supermarket in Australia. And what happened was that I noticed the actual guy at the Coles, he was bringing out new plants. And I'll give you guys a tip. If you find somebody at the nursery or at the supermarket or convenience store and they're bringing out new plants, generally they'll pop the older plants on sale. And I went up to him, hadn't put anything on sale yet, and I just went up to him and said, oh, had a bit of a chit chat, how your day going, have you been well? How's the store going? And we chatted for a few minutes, and I just asked him, do you happen to have any plants you're going to put on sale? And he said to me, well, I'm going to put this whole tray of plants, and I'm going to pop it down for 50%. I'm like, wow, 50%. And he said, yep, choose any plant on this tray and I'll pop it down for 50% for you. And I was like, oh wow, how can I not buy? And I bought, the tray had ferns, and I couldn't choose which fern to buy, so I bought a few. And the first one I purchased is this one here, which is called a kangaroo tail fern. It has these slender leaves and this dark veining in the middle. It also has kind of like a slender shaped leaf as well. And it comes in this very cute blue pot as well. And originally it's $12 and I paid $6 for it. And I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And with ferns, they like their soil to be, they like their soil to be moist, but never soggy or dry. And I myself find my ferns thrive in the area that has medium bright indirect sunlight to bright indirect sunlight. I don't tend to find my ferns do that well when it's in low lighting for too long. And so I tend to move my plants around the house, so just to make sure the plant has enough lighting. And yes, this is a kangaroo tail fern. And the actual coloring of the leaves, it's kind of like more of a dark green. But I love the veining in the middle, that darker green right through the middle of the plant. And the next plant from Coles I purchased, and once again I paid full price for I paid for these plants. I'm not sponsored by Coles. And this one here, which is called an elkhorn fern, and it has this kind of leathery shaped, leathery feel to the leaves, and it's a very beautiful leaf. It's a little bit crinkly as well, and it comes in this burgundy pot. So I'll just give you guys a closer view of the plant. Very pretty. And the next plant I purchased is another fern, of course, because it was just a tray of ferns. This one here, which is called a Duffy fern, and it has a beautiful soft feel, kind of like a feathery feel to the leaves. And the actual little tiny leaves on it are so cute. Some of them very circular, kind of looks like little coins. And it comes in this white pot with some patterns on it. And the last fern I purchased is this one here, which is called a, what is it called? A button fern. And it has some of its leaves there, but I don't mind it. I mean, for $6, it's pretty good. I mean, some of the leaves have wilted as well, but it comes in this very cute orangey yellow pot, which makes it really bright. I like bright pots. And it had a little bit of new growth, but it's dried up a little bit. But I think for $6, well, like I said, I couldn't resist. I couldn't choose which one to buy. So what do you guys think? Did I purchase bargains or did I pay too much for the plants? I'd love to read about in the comments section down below. And if you did find enjoyment in this video, please hit your like button, help up your girl, and hit the subscribe button as well. And just to help me out so I can buy more plants and show you guys what's available in Australia. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll catch you guys next time in the next video. Bye.